The reform era under the leadership of the Warren Court brought about significant changes in the criminal justice system. These changes provided significant differences in other changes that provided a standpoint for it. Two key policies from this period, Miranda versus Arizona and the exclusionary rule, were designed in order to safeguard the rights of individuals within the justice system. However, they also resulted in unintended consequences because of this. Miranda versus Arizona, 1966. The landmark Miranda decision required law enforcement to inform suspects of their constitutional right, including the right to remain silent and the right to an attorney before questioning them. The intention behind the ruling was to prevent coerced confessions and protect individuals from self-incrimination during police interrogations. The unintended consequence. According to the author, the Miranda warning often did not have the desired effect of protecting the vulnerable. Specific police officers and prosecutors learned to work around the ruling by conducting certain interrogations outside of custody or using sophisticated psychological techniques in order to get suspects to waive their rights. So basically, saying specific statements or things of that nature in order to get the suspect to say something that they normally wouldn't say. This led to a situation where suspects, particularly those from disadvantaged backgrounds who may not fully understand the legal implications, were coerced into making incriminating statements. This dynamic disproportionately affected poorer defendants who often lacked the resources to adequately challenge the voluntariness of their statements or to afford skilled defense attorneys. Meanwhile, wealthier and more informed individuals were more likely to assert their rights, thereby avoiding prosecution or reducing the likelihood of conviction. The exclusionary rule. The exclusionary rule is the rule which prevents evidence obtained through unconstitutional searches and seizures from being used in court. Was another reform designed in order to uphold the Fourth Amendment and prevent illegal police practices. The goal was to deter law enforcement from violating constitutional rights by creating consequences for improper actions. The legal treatise is one of the most comprehensive studies in search and seizure laws. The histories explain legal interpretations and effectiveness of the exclusionary law, prevents evidence obtained through unconstitutional searches from being used in court. The unintended consequence. While the rule aims to protect individuals' rights, the author points out that it can lead to the release of dangerous criminals if criminal evidence is excluded. This can undermine public safety as offenders may go free due to procedural errors rather than the merits of their case. Furthermore, the rule has prompted some police officers to engage in more cautious or less proactive policing, sometimes avoiding necessary searches for fear that evidence may be excluded if procedures are not followed precisely. The law's deterrent effect on people's misconduct may be less significant in high-stakes cases, especially when the evidence is critical to securing a conviction. In both of these cases, the policies intended to safeguard individual rights have led to practical challenges and some unintended consequences. The Miranda decision and the exclusionary rule have provided protections against abusive practices, but they also open avenues for manipulation and potential procedural technicalities that sometimes compromise the pursuit of justice. Despite these issues, defenders of these policies argue that they remain essential for upholding constitutional rights and maintaining fairness in the criminal justice system. The sources I used for this were Inside the Interrogation Room, Journal of Criminal Law and Criminology, Miranda's Practical Effects, Substantial Benefits, Search and Seizure, A Treatise of the Fourth Amendment, the Supreme Court and the Fourth Amendment's Exclusionary Rule.